Okay. Good, good day to everybody. Buenos dias. We will now discuss the topic about uh, week 6, wherein we will be discussing planning techniques and tools in business decision making. Last meeting, we have discussed the different ways within planning is needed. Okay, and then the application of planning in different levels of the organization. Why managers need to make a plan. Why managers need to apply the plan that they have created. And why is it that managers always need to plan? Okay? And then this technique is really needed for this topic. Planning techniques and tools in business decision making. Uh, every time you're going to make a plan, you need to decide. Okay? And plan will serve as your tools in making a decision. Okay? Now, let's proceed to, okay, before we share, I'm going to share the screen. Sharing the screen. Yes. Okay. So planning techniques and tools in decision making. So as I mentioned a while ago, the managers need to decide. But before they will decide, they need something, a solid evidence, a solid proof, in order for them to decide properly. If they will not have the data, if they will not plan beforehand, there will be possibilities that they will be having a wrong decision. And that will be very costly in a company. So in order for managers to avoid that, planning is really needed. Okay, but before we go to the topic, okay, we'll try to remember something, okay, about the planning, okay, direction on the types of plans identified, the statement whether it is strategic plan, tactical plan, or operation plan. Okay, if I am having problems with my sound, but it is a high level overview of the entire business, its mission, vision, corporate objectives, and values. Which among these three different plans will fall under this question, okay, under this scenario? And the other one, it can be created on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis, depending on the end result that needs to be accomplished. So is that strategic plan, tactical plan, or operation plan? So in order for you to answer that, you need to review review what we have discussed last meeting, with the different plans. Okay? Now, there are different planning techniques and tools needed for managers in order for them to decide properly and effectively. So one of that techniques or tools is forecasting. And so, say forecasting, just like in a weather forecast, uh, you are uh, using the different data, historical data, in order for you to know what will happen in the future. Okay? But of course, you will not forecast further in the future. Forecast uh, a little bit uh, think further in the future. You say a little bit further, it can be within 1 month, within uh, semi-annual, or quarterly, and then semi-annual. So you can make projections. You can make projections based from your historical data. So what happened before, okay? And then those will be your basic, what happened before. And then what will be your projections? What are the things that will uh, be done in the future? So you are going to forecast. And then in your module, those are estimates, okay, predictive in determining the direction of the future trends. Same trends in the Philippines, we have that we've been influenced by Americans about the Halloween, okay, November 1. And then, of course, in December, the season we're in, most Filipinos and in other countries celebrating the Christmas season. Okay? So if you will have a business, what are the things that you will do? How many products that you will create in order for that event to be satisfied? Or you can have more profit with that event. Okay? Rather than having created only uh, small quantity, then after that, many customers are looking for your product. But if you're going to create your product, it will be too late. So better plan ahead. Forecast the possible or the quantity needed for you to satisfy your market. And later on, you can have more profit, okay, more profit. So take note of the different trends that is happening in your locality, in your area, or in your target area. Okay? And then, of course, if you will forecast not only the possible profit, but of course expenses. So expenses that you will incur, your investment that you're going to use. But hoping in the long run, you can have your profit. Okay? And the other one is brainstorming. You say brainstorming. This is where you will brainstorm or your team, okay, in management team, the staff that you hired will be invited to make a decision, to think what will be the possible things that you will do in your business, okay, for that event. For example, there will be an event that is nearing to happen. So what are the things you will do? Make a brainstorm with your team in order to prepare for that. So uh, have that opportunity, that chance to prepare because you will be having a business. Your team, your management team will be having a business. So make a brainstorming. Think using with your teammates, your management team. So if you will have your business, of course, you will hire persons that will be have a great help with your business. Do not hire persons that you already have in your business. The capabilities and quality you already have it with your other staff. So for good managers, you should hire persons that you are lacking. For example, you are lacking for uh, that is very good in part. For example, accounting. So hire persons that are good in accounting in order for you not to have problems with that. Because when it comes to accounting, you can there is a person that you can ask that is within your organization. Okay, so have the brainstorming. It is very effective, and then it is more cost efficient if ideas will be coming from inside your organization. Okay? Brainstorming. and then uh, need to generalize new ideas and solutions around specific domain or interest by removing inhibition. Okay? People are able to think more freely and they suggest as many spontaneous new ideas as possible. Okay? So usually brainstorming in a larger perspective, it is also being used in strategic planning. Okay? In order for the employees or the management team will be deciding properly, they will go to a particular place, a nice place, in order for them to think and strategize. Okay? And the management will be spending, investing for this person, which have the opportunity to have that in order for them to help the company. So they can think well, the location is good, and then nobody will disturb them, so they can think and strategize. The things that they will do for 1 year, for example, if that is strategic planning. Okay? So just like a race. Race. So just like because if you will not be competitive, your your competitors will be the one okay, to initiate that. So we will be avoiding that scenario. So in management, you need to apply brainstorming. Brainstorm. Okay? Solutions can be within your organization. Solutions can be ideas can be taken within your organization. And the next one will be benchmarking. Benchmarking, this is a practice wherein okay, metrics to industry best practices from other companies, okay, based on your module. Best practices from other companies. It's either you can look for tips why these competitors have the advantage. Maybe they have good marketing strategies. So you as a business can also be applying those different strategies. It can be done by observing, can be also having new improved machines. If the competitors, if other companies already have that in their company, of course, in order for your company not to be left behind, so you need to apply that also. Okay? Invest new machines. So sometimes in a business, even though they already have profit, they are still investing. Because later on, if they will not do that, and then competitors will do that, they will be left behind. So even though you are having your income profit, you need to act beforehand, okay, to avoid that scenario. So a continuous improvement, that is what they call continuous improvement. Okay? You need to improve. You are already improved. You're doing it well, but you observe that there is another company which being successful. So you can also have a benchmark on those companies. Okay, and then that is part of the improvement of the company. And another thing for, but of course, benchmarking can be costly. Benchmarking can be costly. Why? Because, for example, you're going to buy a certain machine or you're going to apply also database system in your company. Of course, it will not be taken for free. So a company will be providing this database to a company. But in the long run, it will help your company to improve, be efficient. Because do not forget, one of the ways in a company is time. Okay? If time will be wasted by having those repetitive activities in the company, uh, okay, that will be turned to an additional cost. Okay, so benchmarking is very important. And the other way is scheduling. So when it comes to scheduling, arranging and controlling, okay, arranging and controlling, optimizing way. When you say optimizing, you are uh, still improving what the things that will be done. Okay, so you need to schedule. If you will remember, we have discussed the five M's of management. Within we discussed the money, method, materials, machine. What else? Money, machine, method, materials. Uh, what else? Uh, money, machine, method, materials, manpower. Okay, manpower. It's very uh, essential. Okay, imagine you have your man, okay, employee, but materials will be having a problems for delivery. You cannot have the materials. So this employee is already working, but without any materials provided. They will report to work, but of course you will be paying them without any activity. So you need to make any scheduling. Allocate these resources, what are the things needed, the time that these materials will arrive, and how many persons are you going to to do the activity and job is very important. Okay? Synchronized manner and optimize, and especially in machineries. Okay? Some companies not only have product, but there are different products that will run to a single machine. So you need to schedule which among those products to be done first. That's why we have the critical path method and program evaluation and review technique. Okay. Critical path method, which you can see the most important product that will be run in the machine will be the first thing, or it should not be disturbed. So other products will be adjusting in order for this priority product to be finished because there is already an order and the customers are waiting for this product. So any activity that will affect this product will be turned in the second activity, turn to second activity because you need to finish first this urgent product. So that will become the critical path, okay? The critical path for your business, okay, for your operation or production. Okay, well, but for program evaluation and review technique, they are making use of this tool in order to be efficient in scheduling. Okay? In a business wherein there are different branches, so in order for you to deliver, which among the route will be can deliver the products more quickly, more faster. So you need to analyze. So you are going to deliver first in branch A, then branch B, or you will go directly to branch B before going to branch A. Okay, and of course, uh, consolidation is also included there. You say consolidate, you can deliver not only one product but different products at one time, so that they will be delivering not only in branch A, then go back. You can deliver branch A, then after that deliver to branch B before going back. Okay, so program evaluation. You need to evaluate which among the deliveries will be faster and efficient. So these two different methods is being used by management in order to schedule of course, scheduling, optimize the cost in transportation. Okay? In just like a race, run the race. Okay? Management by objectives. Okay? This is where businesses uh, approach in management decide to encourage initiative and prevent working across purposes or indeed for no purpose at all. So there should be an objective, management by objective. The objective will be coming from the top management and then going down to middle to low lower level managers up to the rank and file employees. So the rank and file employees are the operators, the technicians belong to the rank and file employees. Okay, so the objective management by objective sometimes very helpful. Okay, there are companies where they call it steps. So step success through employee participation and suggestion. So as you can see, employees can be that can suggest they can suggest ways in order for the company to improve the process. Sometimes managers, if they although they sometimes they are already an experienced manager, there are instances wherein uh, they cannot see the things happening below. And if you will improve, it can be avoidance of defects, avoidance of risk, and then removing of waste. Okay? And who are the persons that usually see these risks and waste happening in the company? It is the rank and file employees. The rank and file employees will be given an opportunity to suggest, okay, and then the suggestion will go upward to the top management. Okay, and then the top management will take that suggestion, apply that in the company, and of course, uh, they will give recognition to the employees who made the suggestion. It can either be a recognition or a compensation, okay, to the employee to motivate them to make suggestions that will be used by the company. Okay, so management by objective. So there are different steps in management by objectives. As you can see here, uh, okay, starts uh, objectives for the entire company, broad overview that should be derived from the terms vision and mission. And the second step is to translate the organizational objectives to the employees. So as I mentioned, you can the management will have a meeting to the whole employees and emphasizing this activity management by objectives. And the third step, stimulating the participation of employees in setting individual objectives. So there will be objectives in different levels. And involves step four involves monitoring the progress of employees. So if that objective is already set in the lower rank and file employees, okay, there we should be monitoring. And then the fifth step is to evaluate and reward the employees. Okay, if they reach the goal, they make suggestions. Okay, the next thing to do is to reward them or give compensation, some benefits in order for them to be motivated, okay, motivated to reach the goal. And of course, in decision making, there are different steps, okay, different steps in decision making. Step one, to identify the problem. Okay, it will start by identifying first the problem. What is the problem being encountered by your business? And then gather relevant information. So if you already have identified different problems, for example, one problem, gather relevant information, things that will help you how to solve that problem. So it can be alternative one, alternative two, and alternative three. Okay, so this will be used for managers. They will choose among those alternatives. That's why it is being called decision making. So among these three, which will be more effective? So if, for example, the first one, first alternative will be effective, you have to weigh the evidence. Okay? Weigh the evidence. And then choose among the alternatives. So if you have chosen one, for example, the other two will be the next thing to improve if you already have improved the first one. So take an action and review your decision and its consequences. Okay, so review your decision and its consequences. There are some activities wherein there will be consequences. Of course, sometimes if, for example, we bought new machines and before it has been done by manually, what happened with the persons that are doing that manually? So they can either be laid off or will be transferred. If, for example, 30 of them is doing that activity, then the new machine will arrive. What will happen with the other operators? So they will be transferred or other operators will not be needed. So what will you do? Are you going to have a layoff and you are going to pay the employees that will be laid off? Something like that. There will be consequences, improvement and consequences. Sometimes it happens. Okay? So those are the things being done in decision making, and especially for managers. Every time that they will have their planning, they need to decide and then see to it if that will be effective. You have to monitor that, okay, during the process, because as we still remember that every decision sometimes there are things needs to be revised. So managers will oversee, check the actual implementation of the plan, okay, and makes an improvement. So the next activity can be done using the true or false, but it can be seen in the module. And here, as you can see, okay, in your opinion, which among the five techniques, okay, is really significant and has a big impact to carry the biggest responsibility in planning and decision making in sales and marketing department of an organization? So choose three planning techniques and tools and state your opinion in 5 sentences per technique. So you can make use of this table. And the other one, assuming that you are a fresh graduate from senior high school, if this will apply for senior high school, you have to decide which university you are going to enroll. But you are a bit financially incapacitated. From the second step of decision-making process, make a diagram which contains your steps in handling and managing such scenario. Okay, so this can also be one of the activities, a practice for you. Okay, so that's all. Okay, thank you very much for watching and see you in my next meeting. Okay. Thank you very much.